Ephesians 4:29, the Message Bible. Watch the way you talk. Let nothing foul or dirty come out of your mouth. Say only what helps. Each word is a gift. The world's waiting for the gift. Now, the world hears our perspective on all things bad all the time. We're constantly telling the world what it's not. It's the stupidest tactic in the world. It's worse than the enemy. The enemy will at least tell you you have something and get you proud about it. We tell the world what it doesn't have and shame them. My wife and brother-in-law and I, during my wife's last pregnancy, my brother-in-law moved in with us, and we were all eating really bad, and we all got pregnant together. My wife is a culinary chef and went to a couple years of French culinary school, and she knows how to make pastas that you've never dreamed of. She also knows how to make comfort food that's like from the South, and it's terrible. I'm like, homemade country fried steak gravy that's better than anything you've ever eaten. And she was doing this. She would like start baking it, and Jeremy, my brother-in-law, would come in and be like, really, Cherie, really? And he would shame her for making something that she was pregnancy craving, and she'd go, don't you shame me. This is a shame-free zone. No accountability here. Stop it. You tell me how good I look, not how bad you think I'm going to look because I'm eating my country fried steak. I am pregnant. And I'd walk in, and Jared would ask me if I wanted to go work out, and I'm like, I don't feel like it. And he'd be like, really? Dude, really? And I'd be like, shame-free zone. Don't tell me what I'm not, tell me what I am. And in the midst of making some bad decisions for a little while because we were pregnant, we started making good decisions because the bad decisions caught up fast. So we started making good decisions. But the shame that he tried to bring on us as a personal trainer did zero. As a matter of fact, he joined our club. He gained like 30 pounds. We dragged him down. And shame did nothing to help any of us. It's so easy to tell each other what we're not doing, and it doesn't take God to do it. And it's not the kind of wisdom the world hears or needs to hear. As a matter of fact, discernment is a dangerous thing because most of the prophetic that's happening right now in prophetic swirly streams is not the Word of God. It's not what the Father thinks about the earth. It's people discerning possible scenarios without hearing from God. You know what happened when you became a Christian? You began to discern evil. You began to discern possibilities. You began to discern the motives of people's hearts. You began to discern when people are lying to you. You began to discern when someone has a gift, when someone has a talent, when someone has something. And it was no longer human intuition. It was human intuition married to you're spiritually alive and your spirit can sense and discern and read and feel. And that doesn't mean it's God. That's your spirit. And then all of a sudden you sense something. Have you ever had somebody like, as a pastor, this is one of my worst roles I took on. Another thing I'd say to never do, I'll never be a senior pastor. Just don't ever do that, you guys. Don't ever say you'll never do something. I promise you God will be like, hey, let's trick them. Let's just do it for fun. But every once in a while I'll have somebody who's not from our kind of culture come up to me and they'll say, I have a check about that person. Meaning like, I don't like them. Or I don't like something about them. I had someone come up to me and go, I'm discerning that young man is struggling with homosexuality and he's on your worship team. And I'm concerned about you because there's a lot of people here with sexual identity issues and I don't know that you're aware of that. And I start laughing and I said, we host the river and cleansing streams and living waters. All of the homosexual healing groups and sexual healing groups are all streams and water, and I don't know why, but they're all water-based. And so I said, we host all of them, and they're people, because we host them and we love them, their people have joined us, and we have probably 75 people who struggle with sexual problems, and I don't care. I love that they're in process. Your discernment does nothing. So what? What is God doing? Because they're actively trying to change. And you don't even care that they're in a program for, one of the programs is 50 weeks long. And the one she was calling out had been in it for 30 and was that committed, not missed one. And she had discernment. I use a church example because it's harder and more sophisticated how we do it in the world. I don't know if I want to work with him because I get a bad feeling. Your bad feeling means squat. What does God say? Why would God put Daniel in the house of Nebuchadnezzar? If Daniel went off of his feelings, he wouldn't have been in there. He would have been like, dude, do you know this guy God is a pagan king and he's evil? I don't know if you've noticed this God, but he's like evil. And then to get into that position, he had to become the equivalent of the chief astrologer of the house. So he had to study witchcraft without practicing it to get in that position. How many of you would like to do that? And he was unaffected by it because he knew how to discern, but he also knew how to press into and sit in the heart of God. He didn't care about the rules and the regulations of the house because he cared about God. And wisdom does not look like discerning something. Wisdom looks like in the face of discernment, can you hear the heart of the love? It's a heartbeat of the love of God.